Okay, so welcome to the Fellowship Information Session webinar. I am Sarah Bennis. I am the Graduate Fellow Manager here at Merrimack College in the Health Sciences program.
And my name is Lindsay Carboni. I'm the Graduate Program Director here.
So we're just going to give you an overview of some of the key information relating to the fellowship application process and the fellowship selection process. So first things first is applying. So it's important to remember that the deadline for the fellowship application is Thursday, February 1st. If your application is not in by this time, you will not be able to be considered for a fellowship. We thought it might be helpful to talk a little bit about what we're looking for when we review your applications. So one of the things that we're definitely looking for are strong recommendations from people that speak to your academic and professional skills, and also your potential as you move forward in the field and as a graduate student. We're also looking for well-written essays that help us get to know you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, make it a little bit personalized so we really get a feel for who you are and what your goals are. And make sure that you also address why Merrimack in particular is the best fit. We suggest that you do some research ahead of time and you can pull in some specific information about why our program will be the best fit for your goals. We're also looking for GPAs above 3.0. And finally, if you are applying to the exercise and sports science major, you do need to have a prerequisite. You need to have taken A&P 1 and 2. There might be some courses that could replace anatomy and physiology if you don't have those specific courses. And we look for that upon review and might reach out to you if you don't have the necessary prereqs or if we have any questions.
I will just add one thing. For the essays, there are actually two essays that you have to write. One is a personal statement and one is a fellowship essay. Just a tip from me who reads a lot of them is to make sure that your personal statement really shows who you are and why the graduate program would be a good fit for you. And, you can talk about your interests obviously in the personal statement, but in the fellowship essay, that's where you want to talk about specifically why you think you'd be a good candidate for the fellowship. And you can, again, talk about what your interests are for fellowship positions.
Another tip is to make sure that you proofread your essays. It might also be a good idea to have someone else look at your essay and make sure that, sometimes other people will pick up on things that you missed, but that really is important, and it really helps us get to know you as a candidate for the program and for the fellowship. So then the next thing is just to go over briefly the two main types of fellowships that we offer. So the first is a field-based fellowship, and these are all fellowships that happen in professional settings, so in the field, so strength and conditioning. We have people working in hospitals for health and wellness management. We have all sorts of placements where people are actually in the field, where your supervisor is also a professional in the field. And in those fellowships, you want to pick those if you're really looking at developing your professional skills and you want to have that field-based experience that will advance your career. On the other side, we have research fellowships. And research fellowships are going to be primarily on campus. Sometimes you'll work with faculty who are doing programs off campus, so there might be also some off-campus time. As I just mentioned, your supervisor is a faculty here in the health sciences program. And there, the focus is really on developing your research skills. So if you're looking to go to school beyond grad school, you have an interest in research or that sort of aspect, maybe you're looking to go into some sort of data management or, data reporting, those fellowships would be good choices.
As well as if you're thinking of using this program as kind of a in-between program to move on to PhD programs or any sort of other doctorate programs, the research fellowships will really help you with that.
And just so you all know, once you have been selected as a potential fellow, you'll receive more information about all the specific sites that we offer, but these are the two general sites. So what you want to be thinking about is which type of site is going to be best to help you meet your professional and personal goals. So now we want to just talk about some key dates and deadlines and give you an overview of what the process looks like. So again, the application deadline is February 1st. Applications will then be reviewed, and if you are selected, you'll receive an invitation to interview for a fellowship. You'll receive that notification by February 23rd. After that, you'll be asked to rank the fellowship sites. So that's when you'll receive a document that includes all of our fellowship opportunities, and we ask you to rank your top 5. And you need to do that by March 2nd. So then once you've done your rankings, we see those, and then we help facilitate interviews. So you will be notified by the sites that you chose to come and interview. Some places do online or Skype interviews, but many will actually ask you to come to their site. So those interviews will happen during the whole month of March. And then the final fellowship acceptance, you would be notified somewhere between March 16th and April 1st. You might have noticed this is on a rolling basis. So some people might be notified earlier than others, but within this whole time span is when we will be notifying people. We do that so that you can be notified as soon as possible, and while still allowing us to make the best matches that we can.
Right, and in order to accept, if you are offered a fellowship position, in order to accept it, you'll be asked to make a deposit.
So we just want to tell you a little bit more about the actual selection process. So again, you get invited to interview for a fellowship. You're going to rank your fellowship choices. What we do on our end is we send the resumes that you submitted with your application to your top choice sites for review. The sites will then contact you directly to set up interviews. So just make sure that during this process that you're really checking your emails and that you're looking at all emails, because again, you're going to get contacted by the site itself, not by us. After you interview at your site, the sites will notify us at Merrimack of your acceptance, and then you'll be notified by graduate admissions if you have been selected for a fellowship. It is important to note that you could have one interview and receive a fellowship, or you might end up having multiple interviews. It really just depends on the process. There are a lot of factors that play into this selection process, and so just know and be prepared to potentially have multiple interviews, again, as we make sure that we're finding the right students for each site, and really that you guys are getting the sites that are going to be the best fit for you. So again, we just want to offer some more tips. One tip is to really take some time to read through the document that you receive related to all the different fellowship placement sites, and look and find which sites really align with your goals. You'll see when you get the document that we really try to provide you helpful information in terms of what skills are needed, what those different fellowships will prepare you for. So the more time that you take up front as you're doing your ranking, the more likely it'll be to end up with good matches. Make sure that you treat the interview for your fellowship as a job interview. That's really important. Sites are expecting you to show up in professional dress. You should think about bringing a copy of your resume with you. You might even want to revise your resume to be site specific, and really try to treat this as a professional opportunity to, market yourself and advocate for yourself for the position. So along those lines, make sure that you're prepared. As we mentioned earlier, it's not only important to do research about Merrimack College itself, but the different sites. Go online, see what information you can find. Be prepared with your own questions. Be able to talk about a site's mission or goals or the work that they're already doing to really show the sites that you're really committed to the site and that you would be the best person for the fellowship.